The name El Roi means the God who sees. God sees you. Does anyone see me? God does. The Bible says that Jesus is our great high priest who can sympathize with our weakness. The word sympathize in Greek is syn, S-Y-N, which means together with. Like, remember NSYNC, Justin Timberlake from the 90s? Passion is where we get the word passion of the Christ. Syn, passion, it means to suffer in sync with other people. Jesus, in other words, suffers in sync with people. When people are depressed, they often cut themselves. This is a way through sublimation and transference to move the pain from the mind to the body in order to distract oneself. But it's also a bid for attention. Does anybody see me? Does anybody see what I'm going through? It breaks my heart when sometimes people say, yeah, she's just saying she's gonna kill herself because she wants attention. To which I would respond, so what if she does want attention? If she is so mentally ill and so depressed that she's cutting herself or threatening suicide because she needs to be seen, then that's no cause to judge. That's cause to pour all the more attention and love into that person. Sometimes we get depressed, and I went through over 10 years of suicide ideation and clinical depression and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I know what that's like. And sometimes we think, as I thought, is the universe hostile and inimical to my very existence? Does anybody see what I'm going through? There's a story in Genesis of a woman named Hagar. She was an Egyptian immigrant slave. She was dying in a desert, and God rescued her. And the first character in the Bible to ever give a nickname to God, not where God's revealing himself, but where a woman or a character gives the name to God, the first time God was ever nicknamed by a Bible character was by an Egyptian immigrant slave girl dying in a desert named Hagar. And she said, "You are El Roi, for you have seen." The name El Roi means the God who sees. God sees you. Does anyone see me? God does. The Bible says that Jesus is our great high priest who can sympathize with our weakness. The word sympathize in Greek is syn, S-Y-N, which means together with. Like, remember NSYNC, Justin Timberlake from the 90s? Passion is where we get the word passion of the Christ. Syn, passion, it means to suffer in sync with other people. Jesus, in other words, suffers in sync with people. And he says, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father, which means when we cry a tear, God cries a tear. He weeps with those who weeps and rejoices with those who rejoice. He sees you. He sympathizes with you. He suffers in sync with you. He's a master therapist. Not only is he the God who sees, but Jesus says, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father, and the Father is El Roi, the God who sees. It's amazing to me how Jesus was a master therapist. He not only saw what people were going through, but he saw what they needed to be healed. Remember when Peter denied Jesus 3 times when a little girl peer pressured him? Remember that? A little girl causes Peter to deny Jesus 3 times, and it says this happened next to a charcoal fire. Shortly thereafter, Jesus conquers the grave. He has Peter tell him 3 times that he loves him next to what? A charcoal fire. Now, why is that little detail of the charcoal fire in there? Peter denied Jesus 3 times, then he tells Jesus 3 times he loves him. Both these things happen next to a charcoal fire. That's what psychiatrists call the modern technique of psychodrama. It's where you walk people through their topographical triggers so they can retrain their brain and reframe their pain to look at those triggers through a new lens and not think of their trauma, but their triumph. So he was like rewiring Peter's memory. So every time he came up against the number 3 or a charcoal fire or heard a rooster crowing, he remembers, I've been redeemed. I've been redeemed. Isn't that amazing how like 1900 years before psychodrama was even invented, Jesus was already doing it? No wonder the Bible calls him a wonderful counselor. Why? Because he shows us a God who sees. A God who sees. So this video is simply an encouragement for you. If you think no one gets you, I just want to tell you, God sees you. Ben Courson here. Thank you so much for watching my new YouTube channel. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button, share this video with all your friends, and hit that bell so you're notified every time a new video comes out. May the hope be with you.